solve for x in the inequality negative 4x plus 6 greater than negative 6. Once again, we're going to solve for x in an inequality. That inequality is negative 4x plus 6 greater than negative 6. So let's go and attack this thing. Let's see what we're going to do, all right? First things first, when we work with an inequality, the rules are pretty much the same for the most part as we have with equations. The idea is let's get x by itself. The only catch is, instead of coming upon a specific one answer or perhaps even no answers, and once in a while you get all the answers, all right? But what we're going to be looking for is actually quite a few, because we're going to be looking for a value that x is going to be greater than when it's by itself, or perhaps less than, depends on what happens with this little game going here, all right? So play your cards and let's see what we've got going here. First things first, we're going to need to move that plus 6, all right? To do that, just like we would do in a regular equation, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to subtract. We're going to subtract our 6 there. And as we always say, we do it to the left. We have to do it to the right also. So there comes a negative 6 now, or a minus 6. Now, whoa, hold on here, folks. That does not give me 0, all right? That actually gives me a negative 12 when I piece those together, all right? And at this point, now over here, I get a 0. 6 minus 6 takes care of itself. And we've got a greater than going on here, and we have negative 4x happening here. Nothing erratic, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary here. We've just subtracted 6 from both sides. Call it the subtraction property of inequality, all right? Now, here's where the game gets interesting. We've got a negative 4 that we are going to divide both sides through by. All right, so we're going to divide negative 4 into negative 4x. We're also going to divide negative 4 into negative 12. Now watch carefully, because these negative 4s, the whole idea is they cancel out, they divide each other out and give us 1. But over here, we've got a sign going on. We've got a negative divided by a negative, which gives us positive. You guys remember that. Positive it is. So here we go, and here we go here. And we've got to do one more thing. Remember I said sometimes, most times we may be looking for a greater than. Well, what's happened right here is that inequality is going to shift. So it's going to go to less than. And at this point, we have, oh my goodness, we do have it, x less than 3. Now you say, well, Ernie, we start with greater than. Well, let's look at this just a second. Let me draw a quick number line here for you. And we're going to analyze this just a little bit. I'm not going to take a lot of time with it. But we're going to have 3 somewhere here. It looks like a good place as any. Put that 3 down there. And according to this, we're to shade to the left. Now, folks, that means any number less than 3 is going to make this true. Remember I said it's not just one solution, so to speak. It's a lot of them up there, all right? There are millions, zillions, quadrillions, all those great numbers I probably just blew to pieces there. In other words, infinitely many solutions to this inequality, all right? So let's put one of those in and make sure we're on the right side of the 3. Because some of you are going like, you switched. Why did you do that? All right, let's see if it works. We're going to go for less than 3. Let's put a 0 in there. 0 is less than 3. Let's use it. It's easy. Put a 0 in here. I get 6 positive, which is greater than negative 6. That checks. So that, again, tells me, why did I need to shift? Because when you divide by a negative or multiply by a negative through an inequality, not only do the signs change, but the direction of the inequality will shift also. So there you go. It works through very nicely. We've checked with one solution. You gotta go along with this, folks. You can't check for all infinite number of solutions, all right? So just take one of them, and that should tell you that went the right direction. You could also check over here. How about put a 4 in there? If you put a 4 in here, you're going to get negative 10 greater than negative 6, which is false. So you know it only shades to the left. Good check, all right?
For more math help, visit TNLearn.org.